So once again, guys, good evening and welcome. So tonight we are talking about what we have called the 21st century business model. It's not only us calling it the 21st century business model, even people like Robert Kiyosaki, the author of the book, Rich Dad Poor Dad, called this opportunity the 21st century business model. Now we're talking about a presentation, an opportunity that is brought to us by a company called Mining City, right? So now, this model actually combines two very distinct, business models and combine it into one very powerful, exclusive model. We're talking about one, cryptocurrencies, right? Cryptocurrencies over the last 10 years, they've literally created millionaires and billionaires, right? It's a new asset class that is turning the world upside down. You go to the World Economic Forum, they're talking about crypto. You're talking about the G7 summit that just happened a few days or yesterday. They're talking about cryptocurrencies. You talk about, the IMF, they are talking about cryptocurrencies. The current president of Tanzania, just instructed their central bank to actually prepare for cryptocurrencies. So the last 10 years have been, phenomenal with the advent of cryptocurrencies. And with that, it creates an opportunity for ordinary people to create wealth. So that's number one of this model. It's cryptocurrencies. Now, the second part of this model is called the network marketing opportunity. Now, network marketing, has created more millionaires than any other industry on the planet to date. It's one of the highest paying, professions next to sport. Okay, so now Mining City combines these two very important, powerful business opportunities into one concept, that which we call the 21st century business model. Now, what you'll be able to cover in this session by way of introduction, I'll talk about who am I, why I got started in this opportunity, and how it has, worked for my life and many others. And then we're going to talk about a very important guy called Eyal Abramovich. And we're going to talk about who he is and why it matters for you to know who he is. And then we're going to talk about these two very important companies, one being Mining City, the company that brings us opportunity. And, Mining City does that through their partnership with a company called Mindbest. So we're going to talk about those two companies and why this strategic partnership actually creates an unprecedented opportunity for ordinary people like you and me. And then lastly, we're going to talk about how you and I can build either a full-time or a part-time income with this particular business opportunity. So just by way of introduction, my name is Lona Bofololo. And first and foremost, I am a member of Mining City since July 2019. I've been an entrepreneur, for a great part of my life. I only worked 18 months for a boss after having graduated with the National Diploma in Building and Construction Management, and then further on did my Bachelor of Technology degree in Construction Management. Now, you can imagine having studied for 4 years, but still, choose to be an entrepreneur, still choose not to have a salary, right? Still choose, to take my own future on my own hands. And I'm going to talk about why I actually did that. So I only worked 18 months for a boss. And, I left my world of employment because I realized it was not going to give me the kind of life that I wanted, right? And this is thanks to me being exposed to information, by reading books like Rich Dad Poor Dad, which really got me to understand how the world of work actually works. And when I eventually got into the world of work after graduation, I realized that it was not going to give me the kind of life that I wanted. And I knew at that stage that, my life, my future, is in better hands in my hands than in the hands of the employer. And obviously, this is highly personalized. This is just my view and my opinions. And this is what drove me, right? So I am a cryptocurrency advocate. I got introduced into the cryptocurrency space as early as 2015. And needless to say that I did not get involved right there and then. It took me some time, probably just like it did with yourself right now on this call. I do want to believe that, you were not told about cryptocurrencies and immediately you jumped on, right? So for me, it was only 12 months. I only got involved in 2016. And ever since I got involved in 2016, I never looked back. In fact, I stopped everything I was doing, of which at the time I had my own real estate company. I was a franchisee. I was selling properties. I owned a Rosen franchise, which was one of the top 4 national franchisees, in real estate in South Africa. And, my office was doing fairly well. We were winning awards and so forth, but it was not really giving me the kind of life that I wanted. So it was on my 5th year in my real estate business that I started to look for alternatives, right? And one of the things that motivated me to want to work for myself, it's because I was looking for this thing called financial freedom. And I know that actually means, different things to different people. And but I'm going to explain what it means to me, right? Because a lot of people don't know what it actually means, right? So, for me, this is quite simple. I grew up in a, with my grandmother most of the time, in a township called Motherwell, in a place called NU9. And we grew up in a shack up until the government built us an RDP house. And, so life was hard. I didn't come from a wealthy family. I actually come from a poor family. And I often say to people, that poverty for me was never really, an academic subject, but it's something that I've lived through. There's absolutely nothing anyone can tell me about poverty, which I've not really experienced, right? So, and that's what really motivated me. So my whole desire was to, number one, be able to live. I did not like where I grew up, guys. I did not like it one bit, because as soon as I, came to my own faculties, I realized that it was not a place that I wanted to stay in, but I had no choice because that's where my parents lived and that's where I grew up, but I had to make a choice. And that choice was to, change my life so that I can afford to stay where I want to stay, not where I find myself staying. So one of my major motivations was I wanted to live in the neighborhood that I desired to live in, right? And that had, I did not want anything to do with money that actually prohibits me from doing exactly that. So one of the key things for me, when it comes to financial freedom, I should be able to live where I want to live, not where I can afford to live. The second very important thing for me, when it comes to me defining this thing called financial freedom, is, I grew up, with, when I was running at school or doing whatever sporting activities, there was, I can't remember one day where either my mother or my grandmother actually came to watch me, during sports and so forth. And for me, I wanted something different. I wanted to be there when my kids are participating in sport, doing whatever. I wanted to be there to give them the moral support and so forth. Therefore, I wanted to have time freedom. Okay, not only just income freedom, but I wanted to have time freedom. And being a young man growing up in Motherwell, obviously we desire nice things and nice cars. And one of the things for me, which was very important as a young man, is I wanted to be able to drive the car that I want to drive, not what I can afford. Okay, so very simply, one, I wanted to be able to live where I want to live. I wanted to be able to, to have my time to do what I want, when I want, and how I want. And number three, I wanted to be able to drive, the car of my dreams, right? And most importantly, I wanted to be able to afford all the necessities of life. I did not want to get to a stage whereby, any of my family members, is sick in hospital and I cannot afford to take them to private hospitals because I don't have the money. Okay, so I never wanted money to be, an inhibiting factor in me living life according to my own terms. So for me, that's just my simple definition of what financial freedom means. And obviously, as time goes on, this takes on many different forms and shapes, as we come closer to our dreams. So I am a property investor. I am a venture capitalist investor. And, enough about myself. But needless to say that in 2016, that's when I got involved in the cryptocurrency space, and it has literally changed my life from night to day. Right now, I live in a neighborhood that I could only dream of in 2016. Right now, I drive a car that used to be my dream home. Right now, I've, busy building my property portfolio, which was my desire for many years. I'm living, there's a lot of stuff right now that I'm doing that was only a dream, just 3-4 years ago, right? So now, and that is all, due to the fact that I got involved into network marketing, not just network marketing, but into a cryptocurrency-based network marketing opportunity. So let's have a look at, what kind of opportunity we're talking about today. So Now, one of the things that I've learned, growing up, starting in fact from 2007, when I was in second year in my university, I started to study people who are wealthy. I studied people who are wealthy because I want to get to understand how is it that they think, how is it that they actually live life, how is it that they actually approach different things, okay? One of the most fundamental things that I wanted to understand from there is how do they treat their income? How do they make their money? And number two, how do they treat their income? And I realized that Robert Kiyosaki says, when it comes to the way we earn money in the world, there's 4 different ways people earn money, or there's 4 different quadrants people earn money from. People earn money, as employees, where they sell their time. People earn money as self-employed, where they basically own and run their own small business. And then people, earn money through the B quadrant, where they own a system that basically generates for them an unlimited amount of money. And then they get to a stage, a certain level of mastery where they have got money working for them, right? And this is where now they begin to earn what is called passive income. Now, I've realized that most of the wealthy people, you'll find that they're actually earning either on all 4 quadrants, or maybe or 2 or 3 quadrants at any one given moment, okay? Now, if you look at how the ordinary people, now, for the sake of this exercise, allow me to talk this way. In the world, you're gonna find poor people. Even Jesus said, the poor you'll always have. So you're gonna have poor people. You're gonna have what is called the middle class, those that can afford, or can barely afford, your professionals and so forth. And then you're gonna find the world of the rich. Now, these 3 people, they refer and actually experience money in a completely different way. Now, let's have a look very quickly here. So for most people, this is how their income look like, right? People have got a job, and that job gives them what? Income, right? Now, what happens to that income? That income comes in, it goes through the expense column, and this is how the poor's income actually look like. All the expenses, like it's your daily necessity, it's your transport, it's your food, it's your accommodation, it's all these things that, children's school fees, these are all the expenses. Now, F&B did a study where they said, 90% of all the people earning between 5,000 and 70,000 rand, these people on day number 5, they run out of money. And they've got the rest of the month to actually carry them through, and they run on credit, for the rest of the month, right? So these are the people that Robert Kiyosaki qualifies as, as poor. And then you've got the middle class. Now, the middle class, obviously, they get all sorts of advices, which may not necessarily be what the rich actually advise, but they get all these advices from their financial advisors and so forth. And guess what they do? When it comes to their income, it actually looks something like this. They get money, yes, from their jobs, and then money goes through, their liabilities. Now, the liabilities are things like your cars, your houses, your primary home, and so forth. So they basically have got the same thing, except for the fact that they've got, liabilities, which they have been falsely labeled as assets, right? But if you look at what the wealthy do, the wealthy will either have a job, like I said, they're earning from all 4 quadrants, or maybe 3 or 4 or different quadrants, right? So they'll either have a job, or have a network marketing opportunity, right? Or any sort of income. And guess what they do? They grow this income so that it does what? As they grow the income they channel into building assets, right? So the assets, they can be so, there's so many different things, that is asset, but the most common is actually property, right? So these people will actually build a property portfolio, or have other assets as well. And what they do is that now the income from their assets, which is now called passive income, actually comes in this way. And that's how they basically take care of their liabilities. It doesn't mean to say that the rich don't have liabilities, don't have expenses, but where they take care of them, it's actually from their passive income, not from their active income. That is why these people, they might find themselves in the E quadrant. They might work through to the S quadrant. They might work, into the B quadrant. But where they actually want to get to is the I quadrant, where they've got money working for them, right? So Now, for me, it's quite simple. All I wanted to do was to emulate the rich, okay? I wanted to emulate the wealthy because that's what I desire for myself, right? And you know, the good book says that a good man leaves an inheritance for his children's children. And there's no way I could do that with my career. Okay, I realized that working as a, my career, my dream career was to be, a quantity surveyor or a contract project manager. I realized that, none of those things I can leave for my children's children as an inheritance. My only other option is to learn, how is it that I can build wealth, using other instruments that the rich are actually using. Okay, so we'll talk more about this as we continue. Now, introducing us to the company called Mining City. Now, I want us to have a look at this video, which introduces us to the CEO of Mining City and talks to us briefly what Mining City has been able to do over the last 2 years. Let's have a look. Right, so that was Greg Rogoski and the CEO of Mining City. Now, Mining City, guys, in a space of only just 2 years, they've grown the company to be a company that has done sales worth over 2 billion. The company has got more than 1.5 million members globally. It's one of the fastest growing, company in the space of cryptocurrency mining and network marketing. And the company itself, is a network marketing company, and the product is cryptocurrency mining packages. Now, there's so many different, network marketing companies around the world. Some will sell, health and beauty products. Some will sell insurance products. Some will sell different products, to their different clientele. Now, Mining City has chosen to actually offer cryptocurrencies to the ordinary man of the street via what is called network marketing. Now, Mining City itself, they do have some events where they actually, help everybody who is a member of Mining City to get acquainted with Mining City and to get educated on what Mining City is all about and, the currency that Mining City is currently mining. As you can see that these are some of the ongoing, trainings with, Emex, the VP for Mining City, and Christina, right? So they normally have guests and so forth. So there's a lot of activity that they do. Sometimes even Greg Rogoski, the CEO of Mining City, actually does come on these calls to talk to the community, right? So this is quite important for us to understand that there is actually support that is coming from the company. Now, that being said, we spoke about a company called MindBest, which is a strategic partner for Mining City. This is the company that allows Mining City or gives Mining City the power to do what Mining City actually does. So let's have a look at who is the man behind MindBest. And this is the guy, if it wasn't for this guy, we probably wouldn't have Mining City today. So let's have a look at who he is and what he's done. Right. So that was Al Ramovich. Now I want to tell you a little bit more about this guy, because he is basically the reason why Mining City is able to do what Mining City does. So Al Ramovich is born Israeli. This guy is a serial inventor, and I was shocked when I was doing my due diligence, back in 2019. When I was trying to do my research on this guy to find out this guy has got so many patents behind his name, meaning he has designed and created so many different, technological innovation, that has been sold to the open market. And so this guy then got into the cryptocurrency space as early as 2015 when his cousins introduced him to cryptocurrencies, right? And at the time, his cousins were already multimillionaires through cryptocurrencies. And he started mining Ethereum in 2015 on his own. And then, we quickly learned that there was just, enormous gaps in the cryptocurrency mining space, especially for ordinary people. And that's what led him in 2017 to create and launch a company called MindBest. Now, MindBest specializes in building and running data centers or cryptocurrency mining centers all over the world. Now, their company, not only does that, but they actually speak on so many different blockchain conferences around the world, and adding to the body of knowledge in the blockchain, crypto, and cryptocurrency space. Now, the company is headquartered in Warsaw, Poland. That's the building right there. Both Mining City and MindBest are in the same building. And another important, thing about MindBest is that these guys, they have been winning awards, for the best run and design Bitcoin mining facilities, actually the top 10 mining facility in the world. The mining facilities are in Kazakhstan and also China. You're probably thinking, why Kazakhstan? I did not even know there was a country called Kazakhstan, but I've been to Kazakhstan to have a look at the mining facilities, right? So Kazakhstan has got excess electricity. They've got geothermal electricity. And so electricity there is actually very, very cheap. And that is why not only MindBest, but a lot of cryptocurrency mining operations are running from Kazakhstan, right? So out of all the 6,000 and odd cryptocurrencies that exist today, Mining City chooses to only, focus on only 3 cryptocurrencies, right? One is Bitcoin, and for obvious reasons. And then the next one is Bitcoin Vault and Electric Cash. So we are going to talk about these 3 cryptocurrencies, in a minute. So this is the product that Mining City brings to the people, right? It's gaining access to mining cryptocurrencies. Now, this is unlike back in 2015, 2014, 2011, 12, where people could easily mine cryptocurrencies on their own. Right now, competition for mining cryptocurrencies, because it's such a lucrative area, competition is quite rife right now, where you can't even mine cryptocurrencies using your own computer. It requires specialized equipment. It requires specialized skills as well. So it's almost impossible for ordinary people to mine cryptocurrencies on their own. And that is why Mining City chose to make mining cryptocurrencies available to ordinary people like you and me, right? So now I know that a lot of people, and I've been, teaching and, doing such seminars, across the country. And even outside the countries, in countries like Dubai, Lesotho, Zimbabwe, talking about cryptocurrencies. And guess what? The most common question. The most common question is always, if I put in this much, how much am I going to get out, when, and how, right? And I always say that the most important question you want to be asking is, what is Bitcoin? Why does it exist? What problem is it here to solve? How well is it doing in solving that problem? How big is that problem? Because once you understand those fundamentals, it does not matter what is happening, in the short term when it comes to the price of Bitcoin. But that long term, this thing can only grow because it's solving an enormous problem that has existed for more than 100 years, right? So let's have a look at what Bitcoin is.
Do you want to know what Bitcoin really is? Before it attracted the attention of thousands of people, in October 2008. Do you want to know what Bitcoin really is? Before it attracted the attention of thousands of people, in October 2008.
Okay, I seem to have uploaded a different video. Not to worry, I'm going to explain what Bitcoin is right now. So Bitcoin is basically three things in one. Bitcoin is a currency. It's a currency just like your rand, your British pound, your Chinese yen, meaning you can use it to buy goods and services using Bitcoin, right? So that's number one. Now, secondly, Bitcoin is not just a currency, but Bitcoin is a commodity, right? Meaning it's used to store value. And your rand, your dollar, British pound can never be used as commodities because they lose buying power over time. And not only that, Bitcoin is also a payment system. So what is a payment system? Right now, if I've got 5,000 Rand in my bank, and or in fact with me cash, and I want to send to my brother who might be in Cape Town or Durban, it's impossible for me to send that money without using or employing a third party. A third party could be a bank, it could be a ShopRite money market, Pick and Pay money market. There's so many different, instruments right now, that I'll have to use for me to be able to send money to that particular person wherever they are. And because those businesses exist, to make money, they are obviously going to charge me for that particular service, right? Or it could be, an e-wallet, from the bank. And, it's going to cost me money to do that, right? So even if I were to give, someone driving to Cape Town or driving to Durban, I still need to have a third party to be involved in this particular transaction. It's impossible for me to have this transaction just with myself and the second person, and that's it. Now, that's what Bitcoin has basically brought to the fore by eliminating the need for a third party. Now I can send money to anyone, anywhere around the world, and I get to save on transaction fees, and I also get to save on time because, their Bitcoin transactions are almost instant. We're talking a few seconds, right? Now, having said that, the question people normally have is, so if Bitcoin is a currency, it does everything that the rand does, then why do I need Bitcoin? Because, the rand has been here for more than 100 years. Why do I need Bitcoin? And this is the reason why. Your rand, your dollar, your British pound lose buying power over time due to inflation. Why is that? Because the way they are created, there is no way that your rand will not lose, buying power because there is an unlimited amount of rands that can be added onto circulation. So the more the government, central banks, continue to add money into circulation, is the more the money you work hard for and put into savings actually loses buying power. So in other words, even if you are to have 5,000 right now, you put it in a fixed deposit, let's say you're lucky to get 10%, and this time next year, you've got 5,500. If you were to look at what your 5,000 could buy you, last year, 12 months back, and what your 5,500 can buy you now, you realize that you're actually buying less, even though you've got 500 extra, but you're buying less because the rate at which your money is losing buying power is always going to be far greater than the rate at which you're earning interest anywhere in the world. In fact, there are banks right now where it costs you money to have your money in the bank, right? Where they've got negative interest rates. Imagine how crazy that is, right? But that's the world of fiat currencies, okay? There is no limits to how much rands and dollars can be added. And that's why the rand loses buying power over time. Now with Bitcoin, on the other hand, the reason why Bitcoin is able to be deflationary, it is simply because there will only be 21 million Bitcoins to ever exist, and there's nothing and no one who can add onto that. There will only be just 21, million Bitcoins to ever exist. And over and above that, how those Bitcoins come into circulation, it's all at a predetermined rate, okay? When it comes to the monetary supply, Bitcoin is far more open and transparent as compared to your rand and your dollar, okay? We don't know how many rands will be added next year and 20 years from now. But with Bitcoin, you can choose any futuristic date and say how many Bitcoins will be in circulation on the 25th of December, 2027. Someone can calculate that with 100% accuracy how many Bitcoins will be in circulation at that particular time. And this is what, makes Bitcoin to be far superior than any other fiat currency in the world today. And over and above that, Bitcoin is not owned or controlled by any government. It's outside of the system. It's not owned by the government. It's not owned by the banks. It exists just like the internet. And nobody, is the CEO or owner of Bitcoin, right? So in other words, there's no building right now you can go to and say, I'm going to the Bitcoin office, okay? I'm going to meet the Bitcoin CEO. That does not exist. Bitcoin is simply a protocol, just like the internet. Has anybody ever been to the internet office? I'm not talking MWeb or whatever internet service provider. I'm talking about the person who owns the internet. Nobody has, right? Because the internet is simply a protocol, okay? So now, here's an interesting fact. Bitcoin started in 2009. And in 2009, Bitcoin did not have a value at all. But people were continuing to mine Bitcoin, right? Which cost them money because it's their computers, it's their electricity, it's their data, right? These guys kept on mining Bitcoins even though Bitcoin didn't have a value in 2009. And in 2010, we had the first commercial transaction where 10,000 Bitcoins were exchanged for a pizza, 2 pizzas in fact. Can you imagine? 10,000 Bitcoins. Today you're talking over 5 billion rands when you're talking about 10,000 Bitcoins, right? So they were exchanged for a pizza. But back then Bitcoin didn't have a value. And at the end of the year, Bitcoin was worth 140 cents. Now, what is important here is that, timing is extremely important in cryptocurrencies, okay? Trying to time the market, has got less importance than actually time in the market. Let me repeat that. It's far more valuable. Your time in the market is far more valuable than you trying to time the market, okay? So 2015, when I heard about Bitcoin was 3,000 Rand, I did not get involved, right? 2016, when I eventually got involved, Bitcoin was 8,000 Rand. Now, can you imagine if you had 10,000 Rands, 10 Bitcoins back then in 2016 would have only cost you 80,000 Rands. Today, those 10,000 Bitcoins those 10 Bitcoins will be worth over 5 million. Okay? 2017, January, Bitcoin was worth 11,000 Rand, but it immediately, throughout the year, it kept on going up. It got to 300,000 Rand in December. And guess what happened the following year? It kept on going down all the way to 38,000. And a lot of people who were what I call tourists actually left the space and said, it's not for me, it's actually going to zero. Now, because we understood what Bitcoin is and why it exists, we knew that at some point Bitcoin will get to 1 million Rand. Bitcoin has not yet got to 1 million Rand, but it did reach over 900,000 Rand this year. Okay? I could have told you Bitcoin will do that in 2016, but it's just that nobody knows when that's going to happen, right? Bitcoin will get to over 1 million Rand. Bitcoin will get to over 2 million Rand. I just cannot give you the date. I wish I could, all right? So now enough about Bitcoin. Let's have a look at, the smaller or the younger sibling called Bitcoin Vault. Now, Bitcoin Vault is built exactly on the same technology as Bitcoin, except this one has got a third private key, meaning it's got added technology, which makes it far more superior as far as security is concerned. But here's the beauty. When it comes to the price, Bitcoin Vault has gone all the way down. I think it's about $25 right now. And I've been urging people to buy Bitcoin Vault. Why? I'm going to tell you later on why. Okay? So imagine 2022, what do you think the price of Bitcoin will be? Bitcoin Vault will be. 2023, what do you think the value of Bitcoin Vault will be as more and more people get to understand what Bitcoin Vault is all about, what problem it's here to solve, and so forth, right? And then electric cash comes in, only early this year, as a younger baby in this family, which is aiming to solve the issue of transaction fees, which is a big problem in the cryptocurrency space, especially when there is a lot of movement in the market, right? So right now, the value of Bitcoin electric cash is around $50 or so. The question is, do you think it's going to remain there for the next 3 years? Impossible, okay? Now, this is the formula that I've seen work in the accumulation of wealth with cryptocurrencies. One, you need to have knowledge. Invest, in knowledge. Understand why cryptocurrencies exist, right? Learn, 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 and learn, right? Now, once you have done that, you then need to have a strategy for accumulation, because you want to accumulate Bitcoin when it's low. You want to accumulate Bitcoin Vault when it's low. You want to accumulate electric cash when it's low. That's the only way people create wealth in cryptocurrencies, right? So, and then once you have your accumulation strategy on lock, now you need to have patience. Understand that nothing great ever happened overnight. It's actually going to take time. Now, if you have those three, there is no way you're not going to create wealth in the era of cryptocurrencies, right? So again, Bitcoin Vault, if you go to the btcv.com, that's the official website, and you'll get to learn a lot about the ecosystem of Bitcoin Vault and the problem Bitcoin Vault is solving, and most importantly, the roadmap. What are the developers saying is going to be happening within Bitcoin Vault? Now, the most interesting is that Bitcoin Vault is now getting ready to participate in what, probably, what is going to be the biggest, what is going to be the biggest, revelation in the space of cryptocurrency, and then the DeFi space, right? So Bitcoin Vault is getting ready to operate in there by having an ERC20 token, okay, which is going to be called the wrapped Bitcoin, right? Or wrapped Bitcoin Vault. Already right now, that's what people are doing when it comes to their Bitcoins, right? So that they can participate in the decentralized finance application. So this is quite interesting. And over and above this, I wanted to show you something which I didn't really have the time to put together. One of the biggest companies in the cryptocurrency space is getting ready to partner with Bitcoin Vault. I can't tell you which company, and I can't tell you in which way. All I can say for you is that, once this thing is announced, I just don't see the price of Bitcoin Vault remaining in one place. Okay? So, you want to position yourself for that, right? You want to position yourself. So, now introducing electric cash, let's have a look at this.
Let's see how our new coin, Electric Cash, works. Electric Cash, or Lcash in short, is a proof of work SHA-256 based cryptocurrency. It provides fast and very cheap transactions. It rewards all staking users and provides them with governance power through voting. The idea behind the Electric Cash cryptocurrency is to enable fast transactions that are finalized within seconds. Users are encouraged to stake their funds and keep them in a staking wallet for a certain period. This is a particularly important mechanism for Electric Cash to function. Staking results in the following. Electric Cash allows users to make fast transactions. There are almost no fees attached. Coin rewards are awarded to the staking users. These rewards grow proportionally to the number and time frame of the coin staked. Governance voting rights are granted under the same conditions. Lcash gives a real opportunity to influence the development of the coin. People can participate in governance of the project by voting on various proposals for the future of the project, its further expansion, or the use of treasury funds. Everyone is welcome to join this exciting new project and become a member of the Electric Cash community.
Right, so that is Electric Cash. Again, guys, the main problem here being solved is, the issue of fast and, a very cheap or even free transactions. And that's what Electric Cash is actually setting itself up to be able to do. Now, let's have a look at these three coins that you have a choice to basically choose from within Mining City, of course. Now, if you look at, people have got different temperaments, right? People have got different personalities. Now, one of the things that is often said in the in the space of accumulating wealth, people often say to you that low risk is actually equal to low rewards most of the time. It's very rare for you to find a low risk opportunity with high rewards. Okay, if that is the case, sometimes it's not what is actually said it is, right? So on the other hand, you'll find that where there is high risk, normally there is also high reward. Okay, now why am I saying this? I'm saying this because if you look at Bitcoin, Bitcoin has been around for more than 10 years right now. Bitcoin is the most talked about cryptocurrency in the world, right? Everyone, before they talk crypto, they talk Bitcoin, right? So, meaning, Bitcoin is far more well established. So, if you are a person who says to me, look, I don't mind, earning small Bitcoin rewards in terms of the number, right? But I also want the safety of knowing that I am mining a coin that's not going to go to zero, right? So maybe then Bitcoin will be your choice, okay? And I'm going to tell you, I am mining all three cryptocurrencies, but my emphasis is right now on Cash, right? But, that's just me, right? I'm a high risk person. I'm not averse to risk. As a result, I dive all in, okay? So if I want to fail, if I'm going to fail, I'm going to fail big. But if I'm going to succeed, I'm also going to succeed big as well. That's just my personality. So in choosing which cryptocurrency to mine, you have to be mindful of those facts. Now, Cash is obviously relatively new. We just started mining, early this year. So meaning we might see the price, just like Bitcoin Vault, actually going down before it goes up, right? So with Bitcoin Vault, it started going up, and now it has gone down. And guess what's going to happen? Every time it has gone down, the only way it can go is up, right? And that's what we're expecting with Bitcoin Vault. So, for me, I've got no problem holding on to my Bitcoin Vault and to my Electric Cash because I understand the market cycles. Now, for a person who might not necessarily understand, you probably might want to look at Bitcoin, right? But bear in mind, over 18.7 million Bitcoins have already been mined. There's only 2.2 million Bitcoin still to be mined, right? Bitcoin Vault, we have mined, over almost 13 million Bitcoin Vault right now. There's still just over 8 million, Bitcoin Vault to be mined. With Cash, we've only mined just 3.4 million Cash, meaning there's another just over 17.5 million Cash still to be mined. So my justification is that I am accumulating all 3 years, but with a major focus here because there's a lot more coins to be mined. Okay, that's just my simple logic. Now, over and above that, there's more than one way to get into crypto. You could either mine, which is what we do in Mining City, or you could trade. Obviously, trading is a skill. They say to master a skill, you need 10,000 hours. Now, for myself, I focus myself on mining and also building a network marketing business because I did not have 10,000 hours, nor did I have the temperament to actually just mine or in fact to trade. All right. So for me, I mine and I also build a network marketing business. So you can trade as well, or you can do buy and hold. So let's just quickly look at what buy and hold looks like, right? So if you had bought one Bitcoin in 2016 and you had bought it for 8,000 rands, right? Okay. So now, and you sold it at the highest when Bitcoin was actually 900,000, right? Your timing would have been, perfect, would have been impeccable. And let's say over and above that, you would have made profit of 892,000, which is a staggering amount. Okay, there's no way you can make this anywhere except crypto. As far as I'm concerned. Now, here's the thing. Now you've got 892,000. You sold your Bitcoin, and you go and pay off your bond. You pay off this or that, or you buy yourself a car. You do whatever that you want to do with the money. Okay. Now, what happens when you see the price of Bitcoin moving from 900 to actually 1.3 million rand for one Bitcoin? Okay. Obviously, you will feel that, you'll wish that you had held on and did not sell at that point. Okay. But here's the thing, from this point, Bitcoin might go down again, but then again, it can always go back up, to 1.8 million, right? So you'll always feel like, you wish that you have not sold your Bitcoin. So that is why for me, I'm saying, yes, you can do buy and hold, but over and above that, you want to find a way where you can earn in cryptocurrencies so that you can, live your life today with due regard for tomorrow. Because that's where the wisdom is as far as, how we should actually use our money. You want to live your best life today, but you also want to have due regard for tomorrow. So here is the mining opportunity Mining City actually gives us. So over the last, a few minutes that we've been together on this call, we've been talking about the first part of this opportunity, which is actually just cryptocurrencies. Again, with everything we've just said, there's obviously way too much more information that we can say about this particular segment of, cryptocurrencies. So now Mining City says you could mine Bitcoin, Bitcoin Vault, and electric cash. The plans are the same. You could buy a platinum plan, a gold plan, silver plan, bronze plan, or standard plan. All of them have got different amounts because all of them actually mean different things. For example, if you buy a platinum plan, will give you 138 terahash, and 138 terahash is simply a computing speed or computing power, which basically, determines, what you will get in terms of the mining rewards. So what Mining City does, if let's say there is, 100 Bitcoin vaults to be mined or 100 electric cash to be mined per day, that 100 electric cash will be split amongst all of us as miners. But what determines who get what is he who has the biggest computing power will have the biggest share of the, of the mining rewards. All right. So now, obviously, there's different entry points. Someone may say, I can only afford, to buy a gold plan, which is, $4,200. Obviously you can do that now, but that gives you 42 terahash, and over and above that, you have 1,100 days of basically any this particular cryptocurrency that you have selected to mine, on autopilot. There's nothing you do on your side. Everything is done for you by Mining City. You just simply share, get credited every single day on your back office with whatever has been mined and whatever is due to you, right? So the same is for the silver plan, same number of days in terms of your mining contract, and then your computing power is obviously going to be less, but you can start anyway. Okay, right now I've got about 38 accounts of my own, mining, these three cryptocurrencies, and obviously at different levels. So it's entirely up to you where you start, and where you basically end up, right? So that was the first part. That was the mining opportunity. And let me tell you what, for me, yes, I've got 38 accounts mining cryptocurrencies with Mining City. Yes, I'm happy with my mining plans. I'm very ecstatic, and that is why I'm on this call today. But guess what? I did not join Mining City just for the mining plans alone. There was something bigger that I saw that has the potential to basically give me financial freedom, right? Which has always been my desire, right? So here are some of the benefits of doing network marketing. The cost of entry as compared to other businesses is very, very low. When I bought my Rosen franchise, it cost me 150,000 Rand. But, to get into Mining City, it just requires you almost 9 grand right now for your standard plan. And you can start there and you can build yourself up, right? And, there's flexibility where you can do this thing part-time whilst you are still having your full day job, and over and above that, you get to grow as a person, right? If you want to earn more money, there's a huge part of personal growth that must happen. There's also tax benefits when doing a home-based business, because network marketing is classified as a home-based business. The upside potential in terms of what you can earn is absolutely phenomenal, right? It all depends on how hungry you are, right? And over and above that, you can build your business to get to a stage whereby you've got some level of passive income. Okay. In other words, you might not sign someone today, but you still get paid today, right? Because of the leverage that you've built within your network marketing business. For me, I left my Rosin franchise because it did not have all of this. Okay. I could not leverage my business. My business was highly localized, right? So it was in Port Elizabeth, in Motherwell. So if I wanted to have an office in each and every city in the country, it was going to cost me millions of rands, which I did not have. It was going to cost a lot of management systems, which I did not have. But guess what? With network marketing, I can build my business, from the comfort of my own home, in all parts of the world. That's the beauty of network marketing, right? So, and over and above that, you are never alone, okay? So I often talk about the 3 questions that every single South African should be asking themselves, right? And the number 1 is, how much would be enough for you to live, life according to your own terms, for you to live comfortably, right? And number 2 is, how are you going to get that kind of income? And then number 3, do you have what it takes to generate that kind of income, right? Now, the beauty, I told you about the support structure within Mining City. And obviously, Mining City is a global community. It's a global company. They don't have localized, events and so forth, which basically helps you and I to grow our business. And that is why we created this movement called the Fox Nation, where we're saying that we can support one another to make sure that we grow as a community. In other words, one of the beauty with network marketing is that though you are in business on your own, for your own self, for your own profit, but you are not in business on your own, right? You're basically a part of a community that grows together and works together to make sure that we realize our goals. Let's have a look at this. Time of accelerated change, which is the 21st century. Okay? So the business that is hot today could be out of business tomorrow. Do you agree? Yes. Okay.
My name is Lonoba Fololo. I'm a cryptocurrency enthusiast. I'm also a family man. I'm a father of 4, born and bred in Port Elizabeth. Grew up in PE, studied in PE, and I now currently live in Johannesburg as recent as last year, December. Part of a company called Mining City. I'm a member of Mining City. But we have created, a family, a movement that we call Fox Nation. It's simply a movement that seeks to encourage entrepreneurship, personal development, especially in the cryptocurrency space. That's the space we are in, cryptocurrency and network marketing. So we seek to work as a family in helping each other to grow, to understand the industry, and to maximize the potential of the industry in terms of reaching our own goals and ambitions.
Right. So that's just a small, token of what Fox Nation is all about. We have 4 pillars. We've got number 1, network marketing. We pride ourselves of being students of network marketing, because this is the, an opportunity that literally creates millionaires, right? And we pride ourselves on being students of personal development. We pride ourselves on being students of cryptocurrencies and the entire ecosystem in the cryptocurrency space. And over and above that, we pride ourselves on being students of financial education. And obviously, all the programs that we do and so forth, all of them are geared to all of us helping and growing together, to be part of such a movement, right? So again, just to summarize, you are in business for yourself, but not by yourself, right? You've got a team, you've got a family that you're working with. We do have quite a regular team building and training exercises to equip all of us. And there's already existing social proof. There's already people who are making money, who are financially free with this opportunity. Therefore, you're not going to struggle, because there's already people who have done it, okay? And over and above that, our events are all geared towards growing your business, right? Are all geared to you growing as a person, right? And, our focus is obviously creating wealth with the network marketing opportunity with cryptocurrencies. Now, let's get to the network marketing. How is it that we make money? How is it that Mining City compensate us, right? We understand about mining. We understand what mining is. We understand what, cryptocurrencies and how they work and so forth. Now we want to understand, how can I make $200 a day? How can I make $2,800 a day? How can I make, whatever amount of money that I want to make? Okay, so let's have a look at this, guys. Now, Mining City is a network marketing opportunity. For those who don't understand it, let me explain it this way. Now, if you go to Discount right now, and you want to buy a Herbalife product, or you want to buy, a Forever Living product, you're not going to find it there, because they only distribute their products through their network of, firstly, customers, who then become distributors as well. Now, Mining City does the same. It doesn't advertise on radio, television, social media and so forth. They simply rely on word of mouth advertising. Now, when you and I join Mining City and we buy our mining plan, we just want to mine, we get placed in what is called the binary system, okay, or the binary tree. And Mining City has got three basic ways they compensate us. One is called the binary cycle bonus. The next one is a matchup bonus. And the third one is your direct bonus, okay? So let's have a look at this one. This is obviously, a lot of people's favorite, where once you get involved, you are placed in what is called, the citizen tree. That will be yourself. Obviously, there will be lots of people above you and so forth. So now, you will have your left leg and your right leg. Now, let's say you refer two of your friends. You refer two of your friends, and they simply buy gold plans, right? Obviously, they can buy any plan. Remember, I showed you the platinum, the gold, silver, the bronze. So they can buy any of these plans. But let's just make an assumption and say they buy gold plan. So this one buys gold plan. Mining City gives you 7 credits. And this one on the right also buys a gold plan. Mining City gives you 7 credits. And now, what Mining City does, they always look for 5 credits left and 5 credits right. And that unlocks a bonus for you of $200. So in this case, you've got 2 people having bought gold plans. Mining City will come and they will -5. You're left with 2, and -5 this side. You're left with 2 on either side. Now you get your first $200, right? And this $200 is paid to you in Bitcoin Vault or electric cash, or a combination of the two. Now again, over and above your mining, this is another opportunity for you to accumulate, Bitcoin Vault or electric cash, right? And Bitcoin as well. Now, if you have a third person that you introduce, obviously you can only place, below those 2 people. So if you place here and your third person happens to buy a platinum plan, so what happens? You get an additional 21 credits. Now you've got a total of 23 credits. And this person here who has not done anything yet, they get what is called a spillover, meaning they get to benefit from the work that you do. They also get 21 credits, right? Now, let's say this person you introduce here, which is your friend, happens to know 2 people who also want to get involved, right? And these 2 people, let's say, just say they buy gold plans. So this guy will have 7 left and also 7 right. What will that mean? That means he will get to unlock his own $200, right? So Mining City will minus, 5 on either side. He gets to unlock his own $200. Now, the same way this guy here benefited from your work, now the roles are reversed this side, right? So 7 plus 7, these guys are all on your right-hand side. You also get the same credit. So meaning you can have an additional 14 credits, and now you'll have a total of 16 credits. And what does that mean? It means Mining City will come and they'll minus 15. You're left with 1. And from here, they're going to minus 15. And you're going to be left with 8 credits, right? That means you're making a whopping $600 in cycle bonuses, okay? So obviously, if you have another person joining, let's just say, you sign up a person and you place them here and they buy just a silver plan. What happens is that this guy here will get 4 credits. This guy will get 4 credits, and you will also get 4 credits. And that means that you'll have 5 credits, and Mining City will come and minus 5. You're left with 3 credits, minus 5 the side, and you're left with 0. And that means you get an additional $200, right? So the beauty again, guys, this all comes to you in cryptocurrencies. So should the value of cryptocurrency double right now, obviously the money you have in your wallet will also double. So that's just the first way. And there's obviously unlimited, number of people that you can sign up going down. But every time there's someone being signed on the left or on your right, the credits are actually going up this way. Okay. So you could easily have, 10 credits this side, 10 credits this side. That means you're making $400 a day. Okay. Now, over and above that, you'll have your matchup bonus. Matchup bonus is Mining City rewarding you for seeing people make money in your team. So in other words, when this guy makes $200, Mining City gives you as a thank you bonus, a $10 bonus. Okay. Now imagine with me, you've got a team of maybe 100 people, but out of that 100 people, only 50 people are making the $200 every single day, meaning, you're getting $10 times 50 people. And they do this every single day for the whole month. That's times 30. That means you're walking away, with $15,000 just on these $10, guys. So the potential here is actually even bigger than what you can see on this side. Okay, so this is just the 2. Now I'm going to show you the third way we get paid, and then I'm going to show you the bonuses Mining City gives us for reaching certain ranks, which is obviously something that is highly advised. Right. So the third way we get paid is called the level up. Level up simply means that the first 5 people you sign up, you will get 5% referral commission. If they buy a gold plan, you get 5%, right? Provided obviously you've got the same plan that they're buying. And then your team B, which is person number 6 to infinity, now you get 10% per person. Okay. And should any one of those guys sign their first 5 people, meaning their team A, they get 5%, the other 5% comes to you. But once they get to person number 6, they get the full 10%. Now, the rank up bonuses Mining City pays is once you get to a builder, you get $100. Once you get to a city developer, you get $250. Once you get to city manager, you get $3,500. Now, guys, let me just say this. These bonuses are very important because, not everyone you speak to will say yes to the opportunity right there and then. But once they see you actually achieving ranks, even though they have no idea what the ranks actually mean, but once they see you being celebrated, it will actually mean to them, that you're serious about this, and they might reconsider and actually join your business, right? So the bonus for a city manager is $3,500, and the city manager bonus is $50,000, and the city mayor bonus is $100,000. The beauty is that you can have 10 accounts, all of them getting to city chief manager. You still get $50,000 for each and every account reaching that particular rank, right? So if you want to stay connected with the Fox Nation, wanting to learn more and find out what is it that we actually do, you can follow us on our Facebook group, which is Fox Nation. It's our private group. We'll have to approve you. And then you can also follow and subscribe to our YouTube channel, which is Fox Nation, right? And that is where we upload videos, and there's a lot more videos that we're going to upload there. You definitely want to be following us. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you.